What is up, fellow bench warmers? Welcome to your playoff fantasy quickie. Hey guys, what's up? We now call this the playoff quickie because everyone's in playoff mode. Commish, day one of week 18. Some teams are in their finals. Some teams semis, but for sure everyone is in their playoffs right now. So everything we talk about here will all be about the playoffs.
Yes, it's about the playoff because we need to win this week. I'm up 9-0, by the way.
Too easy. But
it's gonna be not 9-0 soon. I have lots of injuries there. I got all the 9. It's just fun to see it. 9-0.
9-0, and he's got lots of injuries.
No. I was just gonna tell you the story that all 9 categories, I'm up by 1 point, 2 rebounds, 1 steal. It's just a very lucky day that I ended it as 9-0, but it's not sustainable. But
yeah, it's just
okay.
day one. Actually, it's just day one. Don't panic if you see a 0-9 there in your stand or in your matchups, because anything can still happen. It's just day one. It's too early. In fact, for some managers, it might just be too early to make certain moves, right? I mean, I don't unless there's a really nice free agent there in your waiver wire, I really don't recommend using an ad after day one or panicking after day one, because you really don't know what would happen. And we've always said that leaving a move or two for the last couple of days would be very crucial and important as well for you guys, right? So there, don't panic. It's still quite early. I think that the usual time where you panic is around fourth day.
Yeah, maybe
fourth or fifth day, probably fourth or fifth day. If it's still far, actually the time you panic if the stats are slowly pulling away, if your opponent's slowly pulling away on the individual categories, and it would get difficult. It would be difficult to catch up at certain points. So that's the time you really panic. But after day one, still a good. There's still hope, and for sure
lots of injuries, right?
Lots of injuries. Yes, that was what I was going to talk about. Nothing certain at this point. Lots of injuries, but I just have the story. I have this matchup right now. So I have currently 5 teams in the playoffs. So one of those is in the finals. So I'm focusing on that as well. And then the rest are in the quarterfinals. So we have 3 FBW leagues, and the other one is a league with some friends. And in all those 5, 3 of those 5, I am the 8th seed. So I'm going up against the 1st seed in 3 of those 5. I'm happy that in a couple of those I'm somehow closer. But the other matchup is against Bert Monroy, or one of our followers. Shout out to Bert Monroy. I'm quite unlucky because past 2 weeks he's been ravaged by injuries. He didn't have Jonas last week. He didn't have Richaun Holmes last week. The Aaron Fox was out last week. These are his players. Now everyone's back.
The Aaron is not yet back.
Yeah, but right? At least, now he got 2 more players back. Yeah. Solid players, very solid players. Richaun Holmes was just played really well today. I think he missed just 3 shots. 9 out of 12, I think, today. And these are solid players, and I am praying that I can just keep it close until the end. So hopefully to give me a fighting chance. And I got Paul George, who got injured as well.
Yeah, I have Paul George in the 9-0 league, and I hope it's just a sore thing. He might play. We never know. Let's hope.
Well, the good thing is they only have 2 games left.
Yeah.
So if you have Paul George, you should have anticipated, just few games from Paul George. So just 3 games. He played one today. He didn't play well. He probably missed the next one. I am anticipating he'll miss the next one.
No, don't be so negative. It's just
all right.
a minor
He'll play
injury.
the next one.
There.
I'm hoping
Minor
it's just a
injury.
minor injury because we all need as much as we can in these times. But in case he goes out, you know who to play.
Yeah.
Terrence Mann, maybe.
Terrence Mann, Reggie Jackson.
The usual suspects for the Clippers. Marcus Morris.
Marcus Morris, because Kawhi is still out.
Yep.
There's no news yet with Kawhi, but I think Terrence Mann should be the number. Well, Marcus
Nick
Morris
Batum,
should not be
another player there.
Yeah, but I don't think Marcus Morris is available in your league. So I think for those available, I think it's gonna be Mann and Reggie Jackson, top 2.
Yep.
Right now,
And
Nick Batum. Yeah, Batum, okay, but I think he's more of an efficient guy more than really a counting stats guy. So I'd like Mann and Marcus Morris and Reggie Jackson more.
Yep. So
right now.
Just keep checking your updates for Paul George to see if he will play the next game.
Yes.
Other players who went out today. Well, let's talk about John Wall first. John Wall, as expected, will be shut down. I don't think. No, it's really not too early because if we only have 3 weeks left of the NBA. Pretty much the NBA ends the same time the fantasy season ends, or fantasy season ends the same time the NBA ends. So 3 weeks. He is
11 games. Down to 11 games
so
for
it's
Houston.
really not too many. He won't be missing a lot, but he's out for the rest of the season. It's something that we expected even early on. So it's time to drop him. Now, who's a good ad? KPJ is coming back tomorrow.
Yeah, I was saying that we were getting KPJ questions, including from Jeremy. Jeremy was thinking of dropping him. I think he did not.
No, I didn't drop. I didn't even drop Trae Young yet.
Yeah, so when Jeremy and I were talking about it, we were saying that I think it's better to watch out for the next game. Wait for the next game to see if he's gonna play or not, because they said it was until Sunday only last week. So true enough, that was a good move because he practiced already today. He practiced today, so he's gonna play tomorrow. But if he was dropped in your leagues, then poor manager who dropped him, and lucky to those other managers who will pick him up, because he's gonna be basically the focal point again.
Yep.
The KPJ 13 assists, 12 assists kind of KPJ will be back.
Yep.
Back in action, so to speak.
So he should be a stud moving forward, barring any injuries, of course. But also Christian Wood is coming back to Houston. He is reported to be playing.
Yes.
Tomorrow.
He is playing.
So I'm not sure if you've added players like DJ Wilson. I'm sure they will be affected.
DJ Wilson, I think, yes, it's going to be affected a lot. So I'm not that high anymore on DJ Wilson, with Wood not going to miss time. But I think KJ Martin, I think, given that Wall was already basically shut down, the remaining 11 games is about the young ones. Mm-hmm. So House, he might have some value, but I think they would concentrate on Martin, KPJ, these players. So if you want someone to speculatively add, I think it's KJ Martin.
Armani Brooks is another player that was a popular ad. Is he a good ad at this point, in case you're in a deeper league?
Yeah, I think so. He got 43 minutes the last game. Mm-hmm. So I think he's going to get 40 minutes.
They had, pretty much no one there in the last game.
But he's still going to start, in my opinion. Maybe 35 minutes, maybe 30 to 35 minutes is very reasonable, very something to expect. But what will he do with those minutes? That's the question.
Yep.
At most, he's going to do 15, 17 points like what he did the last time. But he's going to kill your field goal shooting. But if you're not scared of that, then go ahead. But me, I'm scared of it, so I'm not going to stream him. I don't care.
Here, maybe later I'll ask this, but would Kelly Olynyk be affected here?
Would Kelly Olynyk be affected here?
You mentioned that they might play the young ones and they might,
I don't think so.
And Kelly Olynyk is not a young one.
Well, he's relatively young. He has his hair, the hairstyle is
relatively young. Yes, he's not the Al Horford type or John Wall type of veteran, but among the group in Houston, he probably one of the veterans there. But you think he's gonna still play?
Yes, I think he's gonna play. He's gonna be fine. Even if they want to limit Kelly Olynyk's minutes, they don't have enough players, warm bodies to really take over his spot. So, I mean, DJ Wilson, but he can't play 30 to 40 minutes every game. It's not just that good. So I think Christian Wood himself cannot play 30 to 40 minutes going with the ankle that he has right now. So I think if there's anybody whose minutes will be limited, it's Christian Wood than Kelly Olynyk.
All right.
So Olynyk is fine.
Olynyk is fine. Other players, so that's the Houston situation. I think John Wall is a safe, you should drop him now and pick up some other players. But there are other players as well within the week that I want to ask you about, but maybe after we run through all these injuries. Larry Nance is out tomorrow. It's said to be another finger. I think it's a finger fracture.
Thumb fracture.
Yeah.
So, right thumb.
I'm not sure if he had this injury before. I think sometime this year he had some hand injury.
Yes, I think it's a thumb also. I think so.
So I'm not sure if it's the same thumb or it's the same injury he had before. But is he a safe drop? I dropped him in one of my leagues because he isn't as good anyway when he came back recently.
Yes.
So.
Basically what you said. I did that also. I have a bye this week and I dropped him. So that's how I think this should go out. This should play out. Whether you have a bye, whether it's whatever quarterfinals, semis, finals you are in, you should drop him. According to Cleveland, it's a 1 to 2 week injury, but there's 3 weeks left. What's the point? What's the point of bringing him back, right?
Yep.
That's what I think. What's the point of bringing him back? He might be out just because it's the end of the season anyway. So,
and what's the point of bringing back Kevin Love after some tantrums this morning?
He should be suspended. I mean, no, I'm not looking at the bet with Jeremy. I mean, that's so unprofessional. He should be suspended already for the rest of maybe 6 games. Suspended for 6 games. I mean, come on.
No, but seriously, I think he's really frustrated with the way things are going. But what do you expect? I mean, I don't think he should be frustrated. He's in the team that's really not as good. And
but, I don't think, that's not professionalism. That's not
true. That's another thing. It's not professional. He shouldn't be frustrated. But his frustration could mean that he might not be playing a bunch of games. And
it's possible.
It's actually, though, after I saw it, I felt like, he'll probably miss a lot of games after this. I mean, he'll probably tell the Cleveland management, or the management would just tell him to just sit out most of the season, or maybe next week he'll probably sit out the rest of it.
I don't know, because they said he apologized and they accepted it. And it's funny because a lot of people are saying KPJ made the scene in Cleveland and they traded him away. A player who's that talented. And now Kevin Love, just makes even a worse thing because it's in public. I mean, people can see it. And then he apologized and they're like, okay, no.
Well, KPJ isn't earning $20 million a year.
Okay, so I guess that's correct. But he's a young one. But anyway.
Yeah. Other players, let's move back to injuries. Other players who had injuries today. Kevin Huerter and Brandon Goodwin from Atlanta. Goodwin was wheelchaired back to the locker room, so it doesn't look good. I'm sure a lot of managers added him because of the Trae Young injury. Kevin Huerter, on the other hand, could be a minor one. For Kevin
they said it's minor, but they're doing an MRI. So I don't know. It's kind of conflicting. If it's minor, you should not be doing an MRI. But maybe they're just being safe or cautious about it. So let us see. But I hope it's minor.
He's
They're
been
out.
good. He's been
They're out
really
Lou
good.
Williams also, as you said.
Yep,
They
Lou
have
Williams is out as well. So they're quite short-handed, and it doesn't look good if you are against a player like Bogdanovic. Because that means more usage for Bogdan, and of course,
if Huerter will be out for long, the moment Lou Williams is okay from his illness, you pick him up.
Yep.
That's a tip. Don't pick him up now because it's a playoff. You can't risk him missing 1 or 2 games with his illness. But the moment he can play already, you pick him up. And right now, if Huerter will be out, Chris Dunn will be someone to monitor. But of course, I don't know how healthy that guy is. He's always injured.
We don't know how many minutes he'll gonna be playing for the rest of the at least for the rest of the week.
Yes.
Derrick White is another player who got injured. Unfortunately, I've got a lot of Derrick White in my lineup. He just had 9 points. He was starting off great. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to finish that, and this one looks a little bit more serious. I'm actually anticipating he'll be out for the rest of the week, but that's just me speculating and anticipating.
Well, Jeremy's in the finals, guys, so I think he can.
Well, that's just one Derrick White. I mean, I've got a bunch of Derrick Whites.
Well, Popovich said it doesn't look good. That's the exact words of Greg Popovich, that it's injury doesn't look good. So, given what Popovich said, I'll listen to what he said. I'll drop him.
Yeah.
I mean, especially if you're like Jeremy, cruising in the finals, right? So,
no, not cruising. It's 4-4, so it's really close. Harrison Barnes is another casualty today. Harrison Barnes has actually played well throughout the season. I think we expected, we were thinking he'll probably cool down later on the season, but that didn't really happen. So Harrison Barnes, is it bad? I really didn't get any updates.
The update was groin tightness, which is something very sexually, I don't know. I don't know what it is, that your groin is tight or something. Maybe he just needs to release something. But but Luke Walton said they'll monitor. He's getting treatment there. That's the exact statement of Luke Walton. There's some treatment there. So
that's the key. Gotta have some treatment on your groin.
But it could again. Sacramento is already out, so. He could miss games, but the thing is, this is connected to the only player I think which will have more value with him out is Delon Wright again. Yesterday we talked about Delon. Today he's
I dropped
again.
Delon Wright after today's games for other free agents, but
if Barnes will not play, I don't know, Delon should step up already. I mean, there's nobody else. There's just nobody else. So I think he should. So let's see.
So let's see. I at this point, in the playoffs, you'll just, it will just really depend on how much risk you're willing to take, right? When it comes to adding certain players.
And I'll risk Delon Wright. I'll still be team Delon Wright right now.
All right, but here's my question. I think we have some waiver wire specials here, but there have been lots of questions about certain players.
Okay.
Who to add for the week? One is Malachi Flynn. Okay, Malachi Flynn played really well today.
Yes.
He had 25 minutes, I think. Right?
Yes, 25 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, he played 25 minutes, and previously he didn't play 25 minutes. I think he played less than 20.
He played 11.
Yep.
6 and 11 minutes at the last 2 days. Yeah, last 2 games.
So now there have been questions like, is Malachi Flynn a good add for the week? Because they still have four games, including the one tomorrow. Or would you add players like PJ Dozier, who had a great game last night, but had a really bad game today? I think he was just 2 out of 10 or 3 out of whatever, but he didn't shoot the ball well, didn't contribute much on other stats, just very low end. So those types of players, should we add them? Are they good ads for the week?
I'll go Dozier in 3 games. No, I'll go Dozier if it's just Flynn. But I'm okay with Flynn as an ad. I added Flynn myself for the rest of the week, and that is in the 9-0 league, which I only have 3 moves. And as I said, I'm down a lot of injuries. And I picked him. I added him because number one, I think tomorrow we'll see some rest already from Toronto. I'm not sure who. And number 2, I think Nick Nurse already said he wants more minutes.
More Flynn, yes.
More Flynn. So I'm gonna bet on that. So if you want to add him for the 4 remaining games, I'm okay with that.
But if you had a choice between Dozier and Flynn, you'll pick Dozier.
I'll pick Dozier. Yes, he did not have the best game today. He was 4 of 12 and only had 1 block. That's it. 9 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 block. But this is maybe the worst game he has played since Jamal Murray has got injured. So I think this will be the baseline. If I get 9, 3, 3 and 1 block from him, I won't consider it a big loss. It's okay, and the potential is there. So I'm Dozier in that sense. He has 3 games left. Yep, so that's not bad either.
He has 3 games left. Other players, Jalen McDaniels is another player who would have another 3 games left. He played well today. I think he had a 10 rebound game.
Jaden, now you're talking about Jaden.
The Minnesota guy. Yeah, Jaden.
Yeah, Jaden McDaniels.
Jaden McDaniels. Good ad for the week. If you have limited moves, because some managers have limited moves. They've been asking these types of questions as well.
I don't want to bet on Jaden McDaniels. We've seen this before, and Minnesota is just too deep. You don't know who's gonna explode and help Cat. Sometimes it's Reed, sometimes it's Hernan Gomez. I mean, I don't want to bet on that, so I'm passing.
All right. Other players, Jeff Green. Another player's been asked if he's a good ad for the rest of the week, or Blake Griffin.
I'd rather go Blake. Actually, I'd rather go Blake. Blake Griffin or DeAndre Jordan. That's the 2 that I think could be added. Because, in the playoffs, you're concentrating not on the player who can get you 12 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. You want someone who has the elite stat set, which DeAndre Jordan, if he plays, gives you rebounds and blocks.
Yep.
Jeff Green, he's more of a points and
maybe
threes.
Points, yes.
Yeah, but he's not that elite.
Here.
He's not that elite there. So if I have a choice, I'd go with Blake Griffin because
Jeff Green is not elite, but he can contribute a little bit of everything from different stats. But what Komish is saying that when it comes to the playoffs, like we always say, right? You have to concentrate on 5 categories, and if you need rebounding, you go with DeAndre Jordan. Now, if you want threes, I guess you'd probably go with Jeff Green. Or other options, right? But among those 3 from Brooklyn, probably it's either Jeff Green or Blake. I think Blake, the only question about Blake is probably the best fantasy player there in terms of, giving up a bit of everything, but it's just we're not sure how much he's gonna play.
Yes,
it's always been the question, right?
If you have limited moves, Blake would probably be a tough ad because you have to drop him right after because he might miss the next game. He might play every other game, right? So that will be the problem. So it's either Jeff Green or DeAndre. Basically, if you have limited moves, like 2 moves, 3 moves, you can go Jeff Green because Bruce Brown is injured, so that's good for him.
Isaiah Roby is another player who has been dropped and played well. I think he has played a couple of good games already.
Yeah. Tony Bradley is injured. Isaiah Roby may add over Moses Brown in OKC because, like Toronto, they have 5 games. I think here it's clear that you should target the better player, which is Roby. He's got 25 minutes a game. Nothing special, but he's averaging almost 1 steal and 1 block the past few weeks. So I think that's very solid numbers. That is gone under the radar. So I'm gonna go with Roby there.
So that's Roby. Facundo Campazzo, if you need assists, he should be a good ad. Steals, yes, he should be a good ad. Daniel Face played really well. today, and he could be a good add for the rest of the week.
It's been solid. Daniel
Tad
Tate
Young
has
also
solid.
been playing well in very limited minutes. I think today he almost had a triple double. I mean, not a bad stat line for someone who's just playing 20 minutes a game.
But he might not be available in your leagues. But if he is, get him.
He's been there have been teams who have been dropping him just now, even after that performance.
Oh, okay. Then
I've had
Tad
some
Young.
leagues where he has just been dropped. So
you pick up Tad Young in that case.
Yep.
I think that's a good add.
And in case Derrick White misses a lot of time, Lonnie Walker, Rudy Gay, and Patty Mills are very underrated ads. I think Rudy Gay and Patty Mills are very underrated when it comes to fantasy. Patty Mills, if you need threes, should be good.
Another player in shallower leagues has been dropped, Keldan Johnson.
I picked Keldan Johnson.
I picked him up also in one of our leagues, and he's been a forgotten man. And if
I actually used my waiver for Keldan Johnson.
If Derrick White's gonna miss some time, Keldan Johnson might have sneaky,
value.
The effect might be not direct, indirectly might help him.
I think the direct effect really is on Lonnie Walker. We've seen it in the early part of the season when Derrick White was out. So Lonnie Walker played well, but other players like Rudy Gay and Patty Mills, they're veterans, they're old, but they have been solid throughout the
solid very solid players.
And Dean Wade of the Cleveland Cavaliers. Are you anticipating Kevin Love not playing?
No, it's for the Larry Nance situation. I'm
right.
not anticipating Kevin Love to be out, but if he's gonna be out, the more the better. But Wade got 31 minutes without Nance today.
Yeah.
So
he should be.
He should get a lot of minutes again.
All right. So those are the waiver wire suggestions. There. So it was an interesting day one in week 18. Actually, it's kind of a chill day one. I mean, I don't think. I think the excitement comes later this week. I think mid of the week or towards the end of the week, especially for some teams. All right. On Wednesday, we'll go live once again with another one of you guys. This time, last week we had someone from CDO. This time we have someone from Canada who is going to join us. Yes, but he's Filipino. From Canada, and we will, watch out for that. All right, that's it for Daily Fantasy Quickie. We'll see you guys again tomorrow. Bye, guys.